Good morning, guys. The name is Mark, and I just want to do another video. Um, and this will kind of be in conjunction with the other video that I put out called Money, and basically it's all the dump and pump scheme and stuff like that. And basically it goes like this, people. Okay, would you give a complete stranger your credit card and say, "Here, go do whatever you want on this credit card on this dime, and I'm going to pay it back"? Okay, would you do this? Okay, this is how people get so deceived and caught up in the lies. Amazes me because it's like you'll hear all these ads and they'll say, "Save, there's a sale, save money," but it's an oxymoron. If you're spending money, therefore you're not saving money. So how do you have saved money if you spent it? You don't. It's an oxymoron. So it's all this deceit that perpetuates the lies. And you look at stores and they have entrances and it'll say the store entrance, right? So entrance, you're not supposed to be in an entrancement. Okay, people. So I just want to share this because the bottom line is you guys have given your world governments the company credit card and said, "Go hard, don't worry about it, and we'll pay for it." That's what you people have done. And then they'll say, "Well, we have to vote for we have to elect officials to do this." This whole thing is preposterous. So you're going to elect officials to borrow money so that they can spend it, and you have to pay it back. Do you see the scheme here, people? It's no different than the government borrows $5, puts it into circulation. The $5 gets spent. You go out and buy some bread and milk with it. Okay, so yeah, it has $5 spending power. But every day that $5 doesn't get returned back to the government in order to return back to the bank, because all the government is the exchequer. That's what a governor general is, or the attorney general. Okay, so that's why people go to court, is to settle disputes. And all these disputes they're looking for money to settle an account. Okay, so this money never makes it back to settle the account. So yes, you have the $5 spending power. I bought bread and milk with it. Then it turned out the next person bought bread and milk with it. So it always has that spending power of $5. But what you people don't understand is every day that $5 doesn't get returned back to the bank. Okay, well, now this interest has been accruing on this. So by day two, this $5 is worth $4.90. By day three, it's worth $4.80. By day four, it's worth $4.70. And it keeps going till eventually it's not worth a darn thing. And it's not worth a goddamn thing. And then to top it off, okay, it's in the minus. So rather than it just being $5 that was plus five, well, now it's minus five. And then it becomes minus 10 and minus 15 and minus 20 and minus 100 and minus 1,000. And so imagine this with all the other notes in circulation that didn't make it back to pay the debt. Furthermore, why should people be using debt notes, and putting them in circulation and not even giving them back? Furthermore, simply put, you shouldn't be using debt notes at all. Everybody should be printing off greenbacks, and that's that. You would have free education, free healthcare, the whole nine yards. Yes, you'd still employ people to fix your roads and that, but you would pay them well, and you would pay them with good money, right? Technically, we don't even need money. What we need is food and water and shelter. Okay, so again, the rest it's always bullshit that is outside of yourself, never within. Okay, and so effectively that's what's going on, people. And like I say, yes, you always have that $5 spending power, but after a while too, you'll always notice that inflation goes up and the money gets deflated. And this is why. This is the scam. This is the scheme. And your government, they're constantly lining everybody else's pockets with a credit card that you've given them by allowing them to borrow money off the bank. And then it filters down to you have to pay for it. Okay. So the bottom line is the government goes out spending all this money on stuff that never did you an ounce of good, and then you're going to pay for it. It's so simply put. Do you see the scam here, people? Would you give your credit card to somebody and just say, "Yeah, here, go have the time of your life, put me in complete bankruptcy," and and then you're back to the fractional reserve lending, which if I have $1 in my account, now I'm allowed to legally lend you 9. you see a problem with these terms like legal? Okay. It's anything to do with legal is just bullshit, people. Okay. It's just another word. You people like almost worship these governments. You almost put them on a pedestal like they're God. Like the government says this and the government says that. And I better not do this and I better not do that because, well, the government says. Okay, so you can see how this works. The government says thou shall not kill, or that's what it says in the Bible, and the government will say thou shall not kill, and that's illegal. Okay, but then if they send you off to war with guns to kill people, well, then that's legal. So once upon a time, pot was illegal, but bombs were legal. Do you see a problem with this setup, people, with this system? It's a system, and what flows through a system? Shit. That's about it, for God's sakes. I can't emphasize this enough. And look around. Haven't you people put up with enough shit? Isn't there enough shit and goddamn nonsense out there, right? Look at the term nonsense, sense, CNTS, money, right? Everything is about money. And you people, when you realize that, simply put, back to the $5, yeah, you can buy a loaf of bread and milk, and then you gave that money, the five, to the next guy. That guy goes and then buys gas. But this money, even though you have the $5 spending power, it's in the hole, and it keeps going further into the deficit hole, and people have to pay this back. And people just go, oh, it's the deficit. The government has to do what it has to do. Are you nuts? Are you friggin' goddamn insane? You would have to be to allow these people to do what they do. Furthermore, I lend you $10, but I only needed $1 in my account. I print off the other 9 and I say, here's your $10, or simply now I put digits into the computer and I only had $1 to lend you, but now it's magically 10. Do you see a problem with this? And then you're paying. And so we type in these digits on a computer, and all of a sudden, so we didn't even have to print the money at that point because you're using your debit card, and you take the I out of debit and you're left with debt. And you people just don't understand this. And effectively, how can you pay a debt with a debt, right? the whole thing, people, when you see how stupid and preposterous this is, you have to laugh. Okay, now, yes, a lot of it's very sad. Look what they're doing, right? They're starting wars with this money and all this stuff, and all this money is getting filtered to Israel, and effectively, so you guys are Israel. They're borrowing money from the states. Not even borrowing, the states is borrowing money to give to Israel, and then you're paying for this. You have to have fucking rocks in your head, and then they're using your money to fund wars and shit with this. You see, and then at the end of the day, it's not good enough that they're killing people with your goddamn money. Now they have to fucking use you to pay the interest back, and you're helping them to kill people. People, shit is this serious, okay? It's not a laughing matter. I mean, sometimes I have to laugh because I just can't believe the stupidity. Otherwise, I'd go cat shit crazy. And I'm not about to get emotional and all this other stuff on this crap, because getting emotional, I'm more like Spock. I try to be logical, is where people can play on your emotions. And look at money. All it does is plays on their emotions. Everybody wants some, and they don't even know why they want it. They just think, money, it's going to improve my life. And they'll do all kinds of things, acts of, crimes against humanity and stuff. They will do all this stuff, right? And there's a whole market built on taking your money and that's simply not getting returned back to the bank and all this interest, and then you're on the hook to pay this. And again, would you give your government your credit card and say, here, have at it, man, go have fun? So why would you people allow the government to do this? You follow me? Simply print off your greenbacks and be done with it. There's something else. It's back to, if you went to open a bank tomorrow, they would go, hey, wait a second, you can't open a bank and print money. That's illegal. See, you're back to illegal. It's all bullshit, right? But meanwhile, these guys can magically come out and open up different banks and branches and cryptocurrencies. And if you came out of the thin blue air and said, hey, man, I'm about to open a cryptocurrency, these people would arrest you. So do you see the double standard here? Do as I say, not as I do. And that's exactly what we have going on. So anyhow, people, if there's a certain little part about money you don't understand, I suggest you watch my video called Money Everybody Wants Some. That's about it. And I suggest you watch that, and you watch this and you simply go, yeah, wait a second, this whole thing is a scam. Why would I give somebody an unlimited credit card or a credit card with a limit and say, go blow my money and don't worry about it. Have the time of your life on sex, women, hookers, wine, whatever. And that's okay. I'll get it. I'll get it here. Let me get that for you. Okay. You know what I mean? And this is exactly what's happening, right? This money's never getting funneled back to pay the deficit. And then you have people like your president, who is an all-out goddamn thief, and he's stealing like you wouldn't believe. Same with Carney here in Canada. He's a banker, and what do bankers do? They keep you broke. And they're lining everybody's pockets, and these people all have private islands and private jets and stuff. So did that money that got put into circulation ever make it back to pay the debt? No, they didn't. And meanwhile, the poor people are the ones who are paying for this, okay? So people, I'm going to leave it at this. I don't see any more points in doing like videos like this. Like, I mean, I've done enough where I explain things. I even pull out dictionaries, law books, you name it, man. And like, and people just, they still don't want to believe the lie. And look at the term belief, right? A belief is something that you actually know, have no facts in whatsoever, but you believe that it exists, okay? That's not good for people. And you take the F and the S out of belief, or the F out of belief, and you have be and lie. So you're being a lie by believing in something that isn't even factual. So can you see how we're living a lie here by perpetuating more of this? Everybody wants some, and the more money we get, and the more we spend, and the more we hoard, and the more money that doesn't go back, we just make matters worse. So rather than making matters worse, why not say, listen, we're done with your fraudulent stuff. The laws apply to you, the government, not to we, the people. We are no longer citizens, and you guys want to be citizens, and you guys want to be on the hook. Okay, well, we'll put you there, but you better not get caught with your hands in the cookie jar, because the laws apply to you and not us. You follow me, people? Things are this serious. So anyhow, I send everybody much peace, love, and anyhow, till then, keep your heads up, your sticks on the ice. Cheers, bye. Peace.